Hello and welcome to another beautiful drive. I'll be your host. Just love to put these videos together for you guys. It's I lead an interesting life, I do believe. I spent all night last night, well not all night, a little bit of time between sort of 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock hanging out in a shopping centre, but not shopping. The organisation that I run, we're supplying musicians and singers and performers to sing and perform at Myer, the large retail store. So which is awesome because it's a really good brand to associate with, because they're clean, they're professional, and everything they do is a customer experience. And it's not like your standard store. Myer have this culture about and giving a good customer experience. And I was extremely honoured and thrilled when they rang me and said, "Hey, we want to combine forces and have something like what you've got to offer in our stores. Is that possible?" And absolutely it's possible. So the partnership happened, and I know that a lot of other things that are happening in the process as well. These little videos are little snapshots of things that I've done, things that I do, and how I do them, I guess is the moral of the videos. I'm happy to share any information that I've got. Like and subscribe and put your messages in the contents, and I will reply to them personally. I don't have a team of thousands that are going to make up answers for me. I get to see everything that's posted, and I do spend a bit of my time every day going through the messages and responding. It may just be a quick response, or it may be a lengthy one, depending on the type of response necessary. But I will do my best to respond to every single message that comes through. One of the things that I learnt yesterday, I was chatting to a school, and I've got the role of teaching drums in that school, and I'm a musician. For you guys that don't know who I am or what I do, I've been playing drums for many years, and I've deemed myself unemployable in the normal context of employment. I don't think that I could ever work for anyone ever again. I've done that before, and that's not because I've done anything bad and I've got a bad reputation. I'm working in schools, but I'm contracted, so I have my own ABN, and I work among other leaders of education, which is amazing. But I really wanted to make a lifestyle and an income based around music, and performing and playing is extremely important to me. So I've made that my focus, and even to the point of, so I run these workshops, and we coach people from all over the world in how to become a better teacher. So that's a little bit about my background. Obviously you've got the opportunity to find more information and read as much about me as you like. It's there for you. Don't really have much of a private life these days. So I had a chat with this music coordinator at a school. I'm taking over the role of drum teacher because the current teacher can't continue for whatever reason. So it's great to get those phone calls, and you know that you're the next best on the list. And so I went in and started the conversation along the lines of, so how does it work now? What do your students pay? Where do they have the lessons? How do they pay? Do they pay the school and the school pays the teacher? Because some schools operate differently to others. There's no written law on how they operate with the private music education supplier, and that's what my job is in this school. So I was shocked to hear that the students are paying cash for lessons. In our 21 video program, there's a bit of information about about how to maximize your income, how to maximize the money through your business without actually touching the stuff. I think handling money is an old-fashioned thing, and it's got a lot of problems if you're handling it and you're not recording it. So I'm picturing a grade 5 kid, and this school is reception to year 7. So picture a grade 5 having $30 in his bag every Wednesday, for example, going to the teacher, the music teacher, and handing over the money. That's weird on a whole heap of levels, and it can cause some problems. Let's just look at one problem for now. What if little Johnny, poor little Johnny gets picked on a bit in my videos, poor little Johnny, he's excited to have a lesson, and then realises that he hasn't got the money from mum or dad, or he's left the envelope on the counter at home and forgot to put it in his bag. And he knows that he has to pay money to have a lesson. It's a fee for service thing. I pay $30, I get 30 minutes worth of lessons. So how does Johnny feel right now? Johnny's forgotten the money. Does he go to the lesson and just pretend nothing happens? Does he not go to the lesson because he feels embarrassed? Then what does the teacher do? Does the teacher say, hey man, you know, I'm here for you, I'm happy to give you a lesson, didn't you bring my money today? All of a sudden it's about the money, it's not about the lesson. How horrible does little Johnny feel? So when little Johnny goes home, he's either got to explain to mum that I forgot the money and I'll just give it to him next week, no big deal. You know, that's obviously a solution for this problem, is fixing it up next week. And what if? There's a lot of what ifs. I like to look at the what ifs. What if little Johnny doesn't make it next week because he's sick? Then there's another week. And the educator has to remember this. What if little Johnny loses the money and all of a sudden mum thinks she's paying double for the lesson because little Johnny says that he gave the money to the teacher, and the teacher has notified the parents, mum or dad, to say, didn't receive payment for this week's lesson, could you bring it in next week please? Thank you very much. So mum asked little Johnny, what did you do with the money? He lost it. $35 or $30 or $22 or $20, even if it's $10, Johnny lost it. You can see the problems. It's a horrible situation to be in. As soon as you talk about money at the lessons, it lessens the lesson. It's such a, and it's a crucial thing. We all want to get paid for what we do. We're musicians, and we've worked a long time at our craft to be able to play as well as we do, and equally as long to be able to teach and to convey what we do. And I really think that there is a better way, and I know there is a better way, and I've been doing the better way for many, many years, because I think I've developed a phobia of handling money, and making it transact through my pocket. It's old school thinking, it's old world mentality to have the currency work in that way. So, and another problem for mum has to make sure she's got the money. What if mum can't pay the teacher for whatever reason? They don't have the money, something happened, they didn't have time to get the money out. So little Johnny has to tell the teacher, oh, mum didn't have the money this week. And it's all well and good. Everything works fine most of the time. And for the people that are listening right now, the music educators that are listening and that are going, well, I'll just take money at the lessons, it's never a problem. Is it really never a problem? Has there never been an issue ever? Even if everything goes to plan and the money does come to you in an envelope or notes rolled up or coins, that there is a problem. Just that alone. Then there's change, and then there's bookkeeping, and then there's, fair enough, an argument might be that you're showing the kids that there's a currency involved here. You're paying for a service and you're receiving a service. So what does that mean for the rest of the education department? Because mum and dad may not be paying for the schooling per se. They're not handing over a wad of money each week for little Johnny to go to maths, English and science. So does that mean that that's less important? In the 21 videos, we talk about a solution for those problems, and it's a really easy solution, and It solves so many problems, not only for you as an educator. It solves problems for little Johnny. It solves problems for little Johnny's mum and dad. And you know, you're running it as a business. So, well, I hope you are. If you're not running it as a business, maybe you're not taking it serious enough. Maybe this is something that you need to think about. You are running this as a business, so treat it like a business, and make it work more effectively for you as a music educator. You're a business owner. I speak to many music teachers from all over the world and different nationalities and different cultures, and the number one factor is the money. And the reason that most educators get into this industry, the music education industry, opposed to the musician performance industry. The music education industry, where I live in Australia, is about a $15 million a week industry. And that's based on, I think we worked out, 15,000 educators who live in Australia. I've got a registration list of 15,000 educators that are registered on a website that teach here in Australia. If we gave each of those 20 students, and they each pay like, I don't know, $25 to $35, $40 a lesson, that's a lot of money per week. That is a very significant amount of money, and you want to be professional about the way that's being handled, because I can tell you right now, there's a change coming. I can see it. I've been speaking to a lot of people for a long time. There's a change in the industry where professional music teachers are the ones that are getting called. They're more professional. They act professional. They have professional documentation. They invoice professionally. They're a better person. They're running it as a business. It's very important. I don't see how you can run this as a hobby. Fair enough, you might be only teaching a few students, doing a few lessons a week. But then you must have another job, or you're extremely rich, or you're already, you're born with a silver spoon. You just like teaching for the sake of teaching, and that's fine. You can do that. But what about the guy who's trying to teach for a living and share his passion? And we're currently conducting a survey. The 2015 National Music Education Survey is an initiative that I've put together personally, and I'm getting people to just answer some very simple survey questions. And it's given me a lot of information about the way the music education industry is situated in Australia right now. And just from halfway through our month campaign, I can tell you that 50% of our music educators teach from home and do have some kind of music performance degree. And I can also tell you that most of those guys teach between 10 to 20 students a week. Some are teaching more. There's 20% of the responses so far are teaching 50 students a week or more. That's only 25 hours worth. If you're teaching 50 students, that's 25 hours a week, which is, for me, that's part-time. I'll kind of do 24 hours before breakfast most mornings. So, it's a very interesting concept to start thinking that it's a big industry. Why is there so many backyard, pedestrian, lowbrow music educators around the place? I'm sure you're sufficient in playing. I'm sure you're sufficient in teaching. But managing the business, man, that's where it goes sideways sometimes, man. That's where you start earning some good money and you're not sure how to account for it. You're not sure about your spending. So money is always a hot topic. Money, I get a lot of messages from our customers and our subscribers, and they always ask about money problems. What should they charge for lessons? Look at what everyone else charges and charge considerable in that considerate range. Value add if you have to. coming up to the end of the school year. There's 2 weeks to go before school's out for 7 weeks. And there are some music teachers that are panicking because they haven't put any aside. And there's 7 weeks of no weekly income for those that teach only during the school terms. So my solution to that, and we talk about this again in the 21 videos, my solution to that is to put some aside, first and foremost. That's a pretty obvious answer. Stock up for winter. The other option is make sure your students are engaged still. Have week workshops, weekday workshops, and school holiday workshops, and get everyone together. And some of those you might not make any money, but I tell you, you keep them engaged and they'll come back next year. 7 weeks is a long break. I've put together programs. It's like a fifth school term. So the term goes from the end of term 4 to the beginning of term 1. So it was like a 5th term of the year. And you've got to run that separately because not everyone's available over those times, and you have to give the breaks during the Christmas period. People go away, so sometimes it's very light on. So you might only teach 2 lessons where you'd usually teach 20 or 10 in a day. So sometimes you think it's not worth it, but it's worth it for that one educator, that one lesson, that one student. So if you can put something together like a workshop or a masterclass, and for example, a guitarist, you might be teaching purely, wholly and solely on technique. You might not even tell them. You may have never ever spoke to them about how a guitar electronically works. So that's a workshop. Perhaps title it something like, let's look inside a guitar, get inside a guitar and actually pull it apart from top to bottom, strip it down completely and rebuild it. Because it's important for you to educate your students not just on how to play it, but how the damn things work. It's so important. And then there's industry training as well. That's a whole nother level. So if you're an active musician playing in a band, then no doubt you've got some stories to tell about some times when things went bad and how you could have overcome those little problems. Marketing, you've got some. I can tell you now that most of the students you've got want to be you. They want to do what you're doing, and they want to play in a band like you are. They want to teach eventually like you do right now. So let's not ignore that. If you can, you're more than just a guitar teacher to them. You're their idolized mentor. You're the person they look up to. Everything you do, they don't just take half hour from you. They take everything you do. They take the clothes you wear. It's disgusting and horrible sometimes, or all the time. The stories that I hear about a teacher in between every lesson, he would walk the student out to the car, which is fine, but that's cool, or out of the teaching room to the front door if he's teaching at home, and you'll have a smoke. And the student that is leaving sees him have a smoke every week, and the student that rocks up sees him have a smoke every week. So could you imagine the thought pattern? That's what we call, in one of our videos, it's called micro inequities. Those little things you, as a teacher, you might do and not think anything of it, but that's going in. It's going in the subconscious mind of your student. Doesn't take much, but if they see you smoking, you obviously think smoking's okay, or you might not, but just can't quit. You haven't tried quitting enough. These kids don't know that you're trying, or that maybe they do, but they don't understand that you're smoking in the first place. And maybe the $30 you give them, they give you each week, is going towards a pack of smokes. And I'm not having to go at you if you smoke. That's your decision. But really, come on, man, it's not nice. Smoking's actually disgusting. And and then you've had a smoke. I bet you don't have a mint, and you go and speak to the student, and you got smoke on your breath, and your clothes stink, and you're probably teaching in a small little room. And think about all these things, and you get used to your own smell after a while. But perhaps the students' parents don't smoke. I tell you, I've got 3 kids, and if any of my 3 kids were going to some kind of private educator and he or she was a smoker, I would stop the lessons. It's a horrible fact that people smoke for whatever reason, but it's, I don't see any point in it. And they're saying that they're going to put the tax bracket up, so smokes are going to cost $50. a packet, that's fantastic. But you know what? People are still going to pay that amount of money, and then the money that's going back into the government supposedly is going back into the quit smoking helpline. So I don't know, that's not my department. I just try and be healthy where I can. So look, that's a quick 20 minutes. Let's make sure you like and subscribe. You'll be the first to see these videos. We're going to be starting to give away some things in these videos. So, you know, like an Apple Mini or something fancy that you can use, or even some subscriptions and some lifetime subscriptions to ETI Access, which is our platform that we've developed and that we use. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. You know, I like to do these videos while I'm driving, because, you know, driving, after 20 years of driving, it becomes a subconscious thing. You're still aware of what's going on, and I've got an hour journey ahead of me, so I like doing these, and I may do another one on the same journey. So you may see the camera in the same position, something might provoke a thought, and I will make a video. So like and subscribe, and you'll see them as they happen. Ciao for now. Bye bye.